Hello, and welcome to Mean Street News. Mean Street News is here to provide accurate news to help citizens affect change in their local government and beyond. Being nice is overrated. It is time to be real. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. The time to step up and step in is now. So please come join me, Katie, over on Mean Street News to discuss Ohio politics and beyond. I hope to see you there. Hello. Hello and welcome to Mean Street News. If you are returning, thank you for coming back, and I'm excited about tonight. And if you are new here, welcome. Tonight we are going over the sixth part of an investigation that we are doing on behalf of our Lorain County prosecutor, Tony Sillo. Tony Sillo decided his first rule in office, or his first step in office, was to withdraw a motion for a new trial for 4 men that were wrongfully convicted of murdering Floyd Epps of murdering Marsha Blakely and accused of Floyd Epps, but Floyd Epps' murder is still currently open. Just show you a quick picture of Marsha Blakely and Floyd Epps. They were roommates. If you haven't been here before, they were roommates. Both were murdered the same night, 1991, both killed in the same manner. And if you are new here, I suggest you go back to parts 1 through 6 to kind of get caught up into where we're going into tonight. Tonight, we are going on to our, I think it's 6th interview. Tonight's going to be with Delphina Guice. And I just want to, where we left off with Willie Mincy's final interview on August 15th of 1991. Marsha and Floyd were both murdered on August 8th. So it's been about a week. And next, Detective Taliano and Detective Resendez will go to Gina Dalton. Taliano said he was contacted by a bank guard and said that Gina Dalton had information regarding the murders of, Shakim, who we have talked about previously and talked to on the phone. He was the main target of Detective Taliano and Detective Resendez. And as we said before, we feel our suspect, allegedly, but we feel our suspect in this case is somebody much closer to her, Willie Mincy. And our last episode, we listened to his last interview. And for a plethora of reasons, go back and figure that out, or just move forward with us, and we'll you'll catch on. But I suggest you go back if you are new here. So after this meeting, Taliano said that he heard from, based on in his police report, that he heard from informants that Delphina, which they call Diane, Guice, had info regarding the murders of Floyd Epps and Marsha Blakely, and that her car potentially was used in those murders. Now it is by unknown informants. Sorry, I'm reading from my piece of paper. I keep looking down. It is by unknown informants. So we don't know who exactly is the one that is pointing them towards Delphina Guice. Delphina Guice is actually the cousin of Patricia Brown, who is Shakim's baby mother. And I think my theory here is, they knew that Delphina Guice was messing around with these guys. And when Shakim was arrested when he got back into town from New York, he was arrested for driving without a license. And Delphina Guice picked him up. So that is where we start the interview today. Now, I called this episode, as you guys saw in the beginning. I want to show you real quick. I called this episode Framing the Four. I called it Framing the Four because that's exactly what they have been trying to do ever since they moved on from what I believe is the original suspect, who was with her last, who was fighting with her, who has personal relationship with her, who a witness said, go talk to this person. And we've discussed it before. Willie Mincy, the father to her one child. I said two before, and I apologize about that. One child they had together. She had multiple children, but one child together. He was upset with her. I have a timeline of Marsha's whereabouts from the time that she was dropped off from Barbara Long, which you guys haven't heard from yet, but it's like her godmother, to when she was with Willie Mincy. But we'll go over that another time. Tonight we're going to get straight into Delphina Guice's interview. Now, again, Delphina Guice was suspected by Taliano and Resendez to have some part. She was housing some of these men. She was at the time dating Lenworth Will Edwards, who was the first person to go on trial for the murder of Marsha Blakely. And Floyd Epps was killed too, but he wasn't charged with Floyd Epps. So on, let me read this. I keep seeing that. I guess I've seen that. So Shakim, called Dalton for a ride, and Dalton said, Dalton, who I was talking about previously, said, no, I'm not going to give you a ride. So then he called Delphina Guice, and she agreed to pick him up from jail. 2 days later, Taliano Resendez and Detective Roner went back to Guice's home and asked her if they could search her car, which she agreed. And this was based on an informant, apparently. Lenworth had the car on August 7th, going into the morning of August 8th. Now, I talked to Lenworth Edwards last week, and he told me what happened that night, where he was. He wasn't even in Lorain that night. He was over in Elyria. He was actually pulled over by the Ohio State Patrol at 1 a.m. But we're going to get into that after we listen to this interview. And I'm not going to stop a lot during this interview, just a couple times to point out a couple things. And tomorrow will be a more in-depth discussion about Delphina Guice. Before I play this interview, though, real quick, I did talk to Delphina Guice about a week and a half ago, and she was under an extreme amount of pressure by these detectives. She thought that they were trying to implicate her in a crime that she didn't commit. Later, we will find out that they didn't even tell her that her car was clean. It was clean. They searched it 3 times. And every time there was nothing of physical evidence found. And I will give you the reason why her car was a little bit of a mess that night. And it had nothing to do with the murders of Floyd Epps or Marsha Blakely. So give me 1 second and we are going to start playing this interview. Give me 2 seconds, you guys. I didn't open the thing before I... Come on. There we go. I'm just going to open 5 of them because I clicked it so much. Now, I will say this interview starts with Resendez joking around with her and saying, "Don't get mad and spray us with that mace now." And apparently they had a conversation with Gwen before this interview. So this is on 8/13, about 2 days after 2 days after Shakim was arrested when he got back into town from New York, because he was in New York, got back in town, was arrested for driving around without a license. Detective Sergeant Rona Resendez went to the Guice's home. Guice agreed to let them search her vehicle, a 1975 Pontiac Ventura that was silver. It was towed to the Lorain City Maintenance garage. Resendez Rona searched, and no physical evidence was found. Taliano Resendez and Roner all decided after this interview that the car needed to be searched again and then again, but we will get to that then. And I'm just going to start this here. Thank you for being patient with me.
Just want to go over it one more time. What you know or what you don't know.
I don't know anything.
Well, everybody's got to know something.
How can I know something if I wasn't here? I don't know
You
nothing
don't know
about what happened.
But you don't know what you don't know, though. I ain't even asked you a damn question yet.
You asked me at the house.
Well, maybe I got some different questions. I've been thinking about
Nobody knows nothing around here.
Everybody
I
knows
look familiar.
Yeah. Do you be in a project?
My second home.
That's
Yeah.
You look familiar. You look like Patty Brown.
that's my cousin.
Oh yeah, first cousin. You talk like her too.
She talks like me. I know this.
Oh, you're older than her.
You're with your mother's sisters or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know Marsha.
Now, real quick, Patty Brown that they're talking about is Shakim John Edwards, one of the four's baby's mother, who he was with the night of Marsha Blakely's death, was with her at the bar all night. Okay, but they know each other, and you'll figure out that Delphina Guice knew Shakim a little knew him well too.
How you know Marsha?
Well, ever since we lived in the projects all my life, you wanna know? It's been a long time. I've been knowing some years. 12, 15 years. I don't know.
When was the last time you seen her?
I don't see her. That's just it. You know, she here, there, you know. I don't really see her.
When was the last time you seen her?
Who keeps track of her?
Well, you knew when she died, right?
Yeah. I heard. I don't know.
You heard when she died, which was last week. I mean, it was the talk of the town. All right. So now, I'm sure at that time you heard that she died. You must have thought about how long it been since you've seen her.
The lady next door to me told me.
Yeah. Where you living?
Yeah, next door to me. She said, you know, Marsha died. And I was like, what? I said, now, who want to kill her? That's what I said. And then they told me that Floyd died.
Well, what did you think when you heard that? I mean,
I was
how
scared.
long had it been since
What?
you had seen her at that
I
time?
don't see, that's just it. I said, I don't really see her. It could have been a month ago. You know, I don't see Marsha. I don't hang around people like
Don't you
Marsha.
going to Charlie?
Yeah, but she don't go in Charlie's. I've never seen her in there before. Never. Since I've been going, I've never seen her.
What about your car?
What about her?
You ain't got no license. That's why you're here.
Mhm.
So you can't be driving your car all over town, or do you?
I can't. What you talking about?
It's
No, I have
illegal
a
for
sister.
you.
My sister drives. She's got a license.
Wait a second, I just caught that. So apparently they said that's why you're here, is because she was driving around without a license. So maybe that's where they picked her up. But the police report says that they went to her house, just to be clear.
Aretha doll?
What about guys?
No.
No what?
The only guy that drive my car was Jose man, and they towed it in because he didn't have license. That's the only guy.
Jose who?
Man,
That's
he's young. I think it's by and
Like that name now.
that was a long time ago.
How old is he?
I think he's 16.
He's now he's 16.
He was 16 now. Yeah, 16 now.
It was this year? Was he Puerto Rican?
I
Black.
don't know. That's they
Half and
said he
half?
doesn't look like it.
What's he there?
He's black. Down from me.
What's the deal with you and Shakim? Go over there.
I told you we got a room here.
And that's it.
You know what happened. You know.
So apparently, after she picked up Shakim from the county jail, they went and got a motel room, and Taliano's now asking her if she had sex with him the day previous or that day. I believe it was the day previous. He was arrested at 8/12. But yeah, totally inappropriate. And clearly they're following her, which is even weirder. And I think it's because they know that these men, young men, hang out at her house. She had dated JR, who was one of the convicted, and then she was dating Len Edwards, and now apparently she has just recently slept with Shakim. So 3 of the 4 she has been involved with, which I think is why they targeted her specifically.
No.
No, we went to tell us all about it.
We got a room together.
How long you know Shakim?
Ever since it came here.
It's a long time.
I don't know, 3 years. 3 years back.
Okay. And all this time, what about Shakim's friends?
I told you I don't really hang around man and Shakim. If you know Patty, you know why. She just, I don't really hang around. We get into it too much.
Who, you and her? Why?
Too much alike.
So you've always had custody of your car. You don't know any of Shakim's friends.
I told you I seen their faces, but as far as me knowing their names, I don't.
You gotta call them something.
I don't call them nothing because I don't talk to them.
Well, he called him something
I don't know.
about BI. You heard
I
that?
know BI.
Well, there's a name. There's a New York dude. You don't know any New York dudes. Now we so far we figured Shakim, you know, and BI, you know. About Al. You go lie
No,
to
I'm
me, girl.
serious.
You
Look,
know
I don't know.
Al,
I don't know no Al. I really don't.
Bullshit.
I don't.
Because I know
That's why
Shakim had to tell you who he was with when we popped him the other
No,
day.
he
and
didn't. He
because
didn't even
called-
tell me nothing like
He
that.
called you up.
Me and him don't discuss stuff
He
like
was
that.
coming. He was coming to your apartment when we popped him. That's where he was going. We got him right before he turned in.
He wasn't coming to my apartment because he don't come to my house. Me and him see each other on the streets. But as far as no, if my cousin found out about this, please.
Remember what we said?
Right.
They're teasing her because she slept with Shakim within that day, and you know she was worried that her cousin Patricia Brown, who is Shakim's baby mom, would find out. So she was all like, if she finds out about this and this and other things. So I mean, I just think it's totally inappropriate, but whatever.
Why was Floyd killed?
I know. But you know what? I feel like this. Forget it.
Feel like what? Go ahead.
I don't know anything about it. I don't.
You know what kind of trouble you can get into?
I know. I don't. If I knew, I would tell you.
We ain't talking about, some minor bullshit thing here.
I already thought about it. Whoever did it.
We're talking,
Dishes.
we're talking about it, if we can show that at one point later down the road that you may have known something about this and kept, because we talking about conspiracy.
Well, you know what? You guys.
Conspiracy to commit murder, which
Okay,
could
well,
carry a life sentence.
I know. Well, if I get sent to prison, yeah, and I know I didn't do it, and I don't know anything about it.
Oh, we're not saying you did it. We're just.
I know, but
we're
I don't
looking
know
for any little-
anything.
What did you hear? There's a lot of talk.
I told you I heard she got stabbed 40 times. Then somebody turned around and told me that somebody slashed her throat.
Yeah.
They told me she got beat up. You know, there's a bunch of things.
What's the street theory? Why does everybody think she got killed?
And then they tell me that they think somebody from New York did it, and then they think somebody from Detroit did it. That's all I've been hearing.
For what reason? I know there's a
That
reason.
she ganked somebody.
For how much?
They didn't say. Yeah, 2,000. Something like that. I don't know. That wasn't worth murdering nobody either.
What she do?
How did she go from they don't know, 2,000 or something like that? Like what did he like tell her? And who gives a shit what the streets are saying? What does she know is what I would be saying, but they're trying to use a scare tactic on her that they're going to charge her with a conspiracy so she could be charged too. What kind of headspace do you think that puts a single mother of 4 children? And that's what she said when I talked to her a week and a half ago. She's like, I was terrified. You
Smoke it up or she rip somebody
Yeah,
out?
she did. If she smoked like they say she do. And that's why I said I know they killed Floyd because he saw it. Because I never heard of him smoking crack.
Kind of weird.
We check your car. We gonna find anything? When was the last time your car was clean?
I've been cleaning in months.
Watched it?
2-3 months ago.
Maybe that's through the car wash.
Back in and that's it. That's why it's cleaning it now.
So he may never drove that car.
Is he still at the motel?
So when we process that car, we'll have to find his fingerprints anywhere.
Who
around it.
shot him? Of course she would.
Talking about
If I
around,
just
I'm
had
talking
him.
about around the steering wheel and in that area,
No, not creepy.
for sure.
Wait. You might. Yesterday when I was driving, you grabbed the wheel, so that's it. I swear to God, I'm not lying.
What time did you park the car there today?
I don't know. About 5-10 minutes before you came in the house.
Is he still at the room?
Mhm. I don't know where he's at.
Well, where was he when you left the room?
He was at the room.
I mean, we're not after him. I mean, we just picked him up and let him go on a warrant. I mean,
Well, he was at the room.
number 260, but
Well, that's the same smell.
Of course, it's in my name, so why wouldn't you know?
I knew
Well, that's the
you guys
same
were saying
smile
before
you had when he
talked
asked
to
you if you knew Al. And you went like this. No, I don't know
No,
Al.
serious. I don't know how. I don't know anybody for real. All I know is Shakim and Bi, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what time was it? About 8:30?
When I got the car, no. Yeah, yes, it was. Yeah.
what time Shaquille flying out of New York, out to New York today.
Are you going to New York? I swear I don't know nothing about that.
Look at it.
You know, he's
Smile,
telling
man.
me some, something I don't
Huh?
know. I did not know he was going to New York. He didn't get a plane ticket with me.
Did he get the last one with you?
Yeah, he did. Come on, man. I want to go because I'm serious. I swear to God, I don't know
Well, you
nothing about
cooperate.
this.
What said in this room stays between me and this
I don't know
detective.
anything that y'all
Here,
tripping.
listen, you talk to us. And what stays in this room stays between me and him. No one ever knows where it comes from, all right?
I don't know nothing
Okay.
about that though. Seriously, honest, I don't.
When did you take him to the plane
I
to?
didn't even think that. Yeah, I did take me to get that ticket. That was,
That's Thursday.
well, whatever. I'm glad you remember the dates because I sure don't. I'm serious. I'm not.
Last week.
Now they're talking about a ticket. Shakim was going to get his teeth done that weekend. So when we talked about previously that he went to Charlie's bar that night with Patricia Brown, his baby mother, and Andrea Pastor and Cynthia Brown. And they drank all night until bar closed. And when he left, he was intoxicated. Gina Dalton saw him there all night. Then after that, he got on the phone with Gina Dalton, and Gina Dalton was going to pick him up in the morning, and she says she didn't, but Patricia Brown's affidavit says otherwise. That Gina Dalton showed up to drive him to the airport. Now, Detective Taliano and Detective Resendez are trying to get Delphina Guice to admit that he went and bought the ticket somehow after the murders, which is not the case. She'll say in a little bit that she took Shakim to the mall at 3:00 on 8/7, which is Marsha was alive and well at the time, to buy a ticket for New York to leave the next day, the next morning to go get his teeth done over the weekend. And then even Lenworth Edwards, now this he left after, I think, the 10th, 2 days after the 10th, and then he came back on the 11th. So did Shakim. Shakim came back on the 12th. So regardless of what they're trying to establish here, like, oh, they bought a ticket after the murders, that's not the case. Lenworth, I don't know when he bought his ticket, but I know Shakim bought it, and we'll ask Lenny when we talk to him, because he's going to come on here as well and have a discussion with all of you like Shakim did. But Shakim bought his ticket to go to New York on 8/7 before the murders of Floyd Epps and Marsha Blakely to go. He had a pre-plan to go get his teeth done. Shakim was with his baby mother, his affidavit to the effect the entire night. He didn't leave at any point, etc. But they're trying to get her to say, like, there's something shady here, which there's not. I think it's funny too, like how they're like all joking around. It's a little weird.
Right?
Mastermind. That was last week.
Coincidentally, they're right the next morning after the murder.
The next morning, no, it wasn't the next morning when you got
They were
that
killed
ticket.
Wednesday night. All of a sudden, he's flying to New York.
Yeah, but if he did it, why would he fly to New York and then come back? That's real stupid.
Maybe so there's nobody who thinks it's him. Who knows?
And that was Thursday.
Why else would he go to New York?
What?
Why else?
Wait a minute. That was Thursday?
Who did he fly out with?
By himself, I guess. Anybody else didn't have a ticket.
Who did he come back with? When did he come back?
About 2 days later. 3 days.
The two.
By himself, I guess. I don't know. I don't know his business for real. He stays with my cousin. I told you I see him out in the bar, but I don't go to the house.
She threw him out, I heard. I was closed in the car.
In whose car?
In that green car, we stopped something.
Oh, I was supposed to say not in mine.
He got his way to your house, and I was closed.
Well, I don't know why you think that. Seriously, he does not come to my house.
Maybe he's figuring he's gonna come over there and see if he can move in.
No, he didn't. Me and him, you don't know. We're not like that. We're not all that tight. We just started getting along.
Okay.
She's talking about Shakim, by the way.
I don't think so. She don't.
No? You guys fight over him?
For what?
That's what I was gonna say. Damn good. He's going to jail here, sure.
Yeah, why you keep letting him go anyway?
He's on bond.
I know, but he don't spend no time in jail.
Well, his trial ain't come up yet. He has to be convicted. And we'll ship him. don't do a lot of times.
She's talking, I believe, about Lenworth at the time because Lenworth was arrested. He's either talking about Shakim's trial that for whatever warrant they picked him up on, or I know Lenworth was arrested. Sorry, I'm looking at my timeline. Lenworth was arrested. When was he arrested? No, she must be talking about. She must be talking about. Yeah, she must be talking about Shakim. Vitamin C behind Rio. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I have when Lenworth was arrested on here. I knew I wrote it down. Maybe went the wrong way. Maybe went the wrong way. Lenworth was picked up on something else, and he's in jail. I'm gonna figure it out, but let's just keep going. I'm pretty sure she's talking about Shakim right now. I don't think Lenny's in jail yet. I'm not quite sure.
Well, what else could you offer? You ain't offering nothing. We gotta pry everything out of you. You know, we can, we just want you to cooperate because we can.
I'm so sorry. I have it right here. Lenworth Edwards was picked up and put in jail on August 14th. So the next day, the day after this interview, he is picked up and put in jail for obstructing official business and is incarcerated in the Lorain City Jail. Thereafter, Edwards received a 30-day jail sentence in the Lorain Municipal Court. And then, that 30 days started the clock. And then after he served that 30 days for the, obstruction of official business, they charged him with felonious assault in regards to the murder of Marsha Blakely. So she's talking about Shakim and maybe even Ann Lenny here. But Shakim just, I know, the day before got out on bond.
We can make it very different. Well, what else could you offer? You ain't offering nothing. We gotta pry everything out of you. You know, we can, we just want you to cooperate because we can make it very difficult for you for that car of yours to go anywhere. You know what I mean? Time we see it, don't you again? I'm kind of trip to jail.
Nah, because you can have it. I'm not driving it.
You drive it. You drive it. You will drive it. You won't see any police around. You jump in it. You drive it. Boom, there I'll be. I think the police.
I know. See how you harass me.
Well, we just add one more to the list. They start shooting everybody out there. They don't want to be peaceful anymore. You got the New York boys in town and Detroit boys. Dope money. You got all these out of towners out there. They all want to make this big city and they don't want to be peaceful. Boom, there I'll be. I think the police.
I know. See how you harass me.
Well, we just add one more to the list. They start shooting everybody out there. They don't want to be peaceful anymore. You got the New York boys in town and Detroit boys. Dope money. You got all these out of towners out there. They all want to make this big city, and they're fighting with one another. And we're gonna have a lot more fights before we're done. So we're gonna keep leading now.
No, you won't. Because these people around here don't care. As long as they don't have to get a piece of
We care.
That's a stupid
We care. Pies getting a little bit narrower and narrower.
Who are you afraid of? You afraid of us or you afraid of them?
I'm afraid I'm going to jail for something I didn't do and I don't know about. That's what I'm afraid of. And to be honest with you, I'm afraid, somebody did something like that. Who said they won't do it to me? Shoot, I have 4 kids to wait for.
Ain't nobody saying they ain't gonna do it to you. That's a good possibility. They're gonna do it to somebody because it ain't gonna stop.
Well, they can't do it to me because I don't know anything.
Did Floyd? Floyd don't know nothing if he
They,
sees it when he's
they
sober.
probably thought he knew something.
Well,
Or he saw something. He probably was so drunk in the.
they may think you know something.
What Shaquem say about the murder? Don't say he didn't talk about him. I know he did. He was in the bar that night too. Be straight up with us. You tell us something, we're not gonna run out and grab him if they. You told us this or that, we ain't stupid. We're just looking for some leads here, some place to take them.
So Marsha smoked, huh?
You can tell me that as far as that goes. What you don't understand, me and Shaquem did not get along. You know how you like somebody, and I wasn't gonna do my cousin like that.
Mhm.
And just because I would agree to it, he just constantly harassed me. We just got together.
Mhm.
And he's not gonna tell me nothing because he knows I'm the type, you make me mad, I'm telling. So he's not gonna tell me that.
Yeah, would he say anything about it? He didn't mention the murders at all. Nobody, no small talk.
I asked you, did he do that? Because people been saying that.
Uh-huh.
He said, no, I ain't murdered them. Why would I want to murder them?
What do you say he thinks happened to? What does he think happened to him?
He just said,
Was he in the bar that night?
I don't know. I just go out there.
They're asking about Lenworth Edwards, by the way. They're saying, do you think she did it? And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, why would you ever, think that, And he was, I'll be very clear with you guys. He was in Elyria that night. He wasn't in Lorain.
Did you ever get dope from Shaquem?
I don't know. I don't know his. You need to ask Nia this, not me. She is this woman. I'm not.
Does he know that people are blaming him?
That's what he told me that they stopped them.
What'd he say?
Trying to get him on a double rap, I thought he was lying.
I stopped him. I asked him a couple of feet in the bar. That's all I did. That's 100 people that person. Must be a good people. That's all.
What'd he say?
Trying to get him on a double rap, I thought he was lying.
I stopped him. I asked him a couple of feet in the bar. That's all I did. That's 100 people that person. Must be a good people.
You need to ask Nia this, not me. She is this woman. I'm not.
Does he know that people are blaming him?
That's what he told me that they stopped them.
What'd he say?
Trying to get him on a double rap, I thought he was lying.
I stopped him. I asked him a couple of feet in the bar. That's all I did. That's 100 people that person. Must be a good people.
Did you just hear Resendez? He said that he had stopped Shaquem and asked him if he had something to do with the murders of Marsha and Floyd. But he's like, oh, I stopped 100 people and asked them. Yeah, I don't think so. Taliano looked right past other suspects and clear more honestly, more likely suspects. If you've been watching, you all know who I'm referring to. And, they were always after Shakim. Like you said, these guys took one Mincy. What he'll say to her in 2 days after this is, these guys had a master plan to come in here, sell drugs, guns, get rid of the locals. And a couple of years ago, Detroit boys tried to do that. And now New York boys are. So they're trying to pin a murder on him. And that's what Shakim said to Resendez when he asked him that day. He said, you're trying to hem me up with 2 bodies.
I don't know why he don't want to show though.
You know of him driving any other car?
Who him? No, he can't even drive.
Using somebody else's car? I know he can drive.
Please, did you see the way he drives?
I arrested him for driving.
He can't drive good. No, I don't know anybody's car.
But think about your 4 kids. Who's the father of these kids? Anybody around here? If they did it twice, they're gonna do it again.
Unless if they think somebody knows something.
Well, whoever did it knows I don't know if it's I don't think it's why would they think I know something?
Whoever did it, do they know you?
I don't know who did it. If I knew who did it, do you think I'd be
You
married?
just said whoever did it knows you. Whoever, you said whoever did it knows
Whoever did it
you don't
knows
know
that I don't know anything.
You don't even know if whoever did it knows you then.
Whatever, if they know me, they know I didn't do it. I mean, they know that I don't know anything about it.
If you knew, would you tell us?
Honestly, God, I would. As long as you forget that, shoot, I'm scared. Yeah, if you was gonna provide me some type of protection, heck, see, I'll tell. Because I know that they're gonna get me sooner or later.
No, I'm telling you, we can protect it, You can relocate you or whatever it takes. But it take the person off the street. And it's to make sure that they don't ever see the street. Anything at all. Don't even, even if you don't know a name or we need to line on the car. You know what I mean? Even the fact you knew where the car was parked. Give us like some anonymous information, you know what I mean? But, we might want to check this car, you might want to check that car. We don't need to know where the information is, you know what I mean? Anything at all?
You know whose car was involved. Well, I gave you my number here.
I gotta shoot.
Give me another.
I gotta shoot up this coming.
Can you go check what they said about my car?
He's gotta go check it.
I want to read.
Huh?
There's something going on.
Well, there's a lot of stuff happening. If this woman just smoked up $2,000, $3,000 worth of somebody's dope, and that's all she did, and they did this to her.
There is no crackhead in the world that is smoking up in 1991 $2,000 worth of dope in like a day. That's not a thing. And that's all based on this story of dope being thrown out of a car. And at the end of this, I'm gonna connect that for you all. But that wasn't in Lorain, by the way. So Marsha Blakely was 25 miles away from where that dope was thrown out.
It was living large, like they claim, why did I kill over $2,000 worth of dope?
Was she out there tricking?
That's what I kept thinking. She used to do that, she was known for it. And then another story I heard, she was giving somebody a good old, she gave the dude killed her.
You heard who that dude is?
They said he was like a coalition, but he's black.
From around here? Where at?
That's all I heard. So many stories float around, I don't know.
Well, we gotta go somewhere. You ain't the only person we talk to.
I don't think it's just us. I don't know.
I don't understand it neither, but they told us. We just didn't knock at your door.
Was it a lady, a man?
I don't know. They didn't talk to me. They talked to the other officer that was with me this morning. But they said, go talk to you. You might have some information we'd be interested in. Check her car out. Maybe have some stuff we're looking for on it. So now we got your car, we got you, and you say your car ain't got nothing on it. You ain't got nothing to say. You don't know nothing about nothing. You know, I'd believe you halfway if the fact that you got some attractions here to Shakim. You bought him that damn plane ticket last week.
I didn't buy it.
Well, you bought it for him.
He got it himself. I took him there.
All right, that's yeah. The room. It's not like you don't know the man.
Please don't tell nobody about that, please. Oh my God.
What am I gonna go tell around?
I don't know, but I'm like, my mom find out that she was hanging. Or even being with him, then we got into fights and everything.
Well, who you wanna spend your social life with is your business. We're not here to prosecute people for that. But we are here to solve a couple homicides that we got. And we need your help to do it.
And you say he left Thursday? And the murder happened Wednesday.
Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
But you know what? Okay, wait a minute. He couldn't have done that. Because when I took him to get the ticket, you said she got killed Wednesday. Why did he get a ticket? No, I don't think so. I took him, and it had to be Wednesday earlier, and the earlier part of Wednesday was about 3, 4. When I took him to get that ticket.
Wednesday.
It must have been.
In
You
the
said
afternoon.
yeah, it had to be. If he left Thursday, I took him the day before.
She just broke their story. She said, no, I took him the day before to get that ticket. So that wasn't the day that she was murdered. He had pre-planned to go to New York the next day. It had nothing to do with any just trying to flee. And like she said earlier, even if that was like a thing, like, well, they got tickets to flee, why would they come back? If they were guilty, and then while in New York hearing these rumors, why would they then come back to Lorain, Ohio? If they were guilty? That makes Lenworth, Al, and because Al was already in New York. He was in New York the day before and the day of, the night of, and the next day of, he was in New York. He was a South probation officer. Like, that's ridiculous. But, why would they come back to Lorain, Ohio if they're guilty of murdering somebody? Make it make sense.
What time did he leave Thursday?
You said he left Thursday. I don't know what day.
Whatever day he left, what time was it?
I don't know what time he left. That's just it.
How did he get
All
to the
I know
airport?
is that I took him in that thing, and that hoopsie, no. I don't know who took him.
Where did you get the ticket at?
at the mall. So it had to be Wednesday.
Right, say Shakim didn't do it. What about them 4 or 5 boys from New York that are in town, the new faces you saw?
I don't know.
They got the heart
I
to
don't
do it?
really talk to them. No. To be honest with you, I'm scared of people from New York.
They got the heart to do it?
I don't know. From what I hear, where Shaq and them come from, I don't think so.
Why not?
It's not like, they live in a nice place.
Where?
I don't know, farmers.
In New York?
Yes, it's not like, it's just. They claim they come from nice families, believe it or not.
I don't know. When's the last time you saw them new faces? Are they still in town? When they're in town, where they stay at?
I don't know that.
Where you see their
They're
faces
not letting
at?
nobody know their business
Where they hang at?
out there in projects.
On the strip?
Baby, that's what I'm saying. They just be in and out, in and out. I don't know where they be at. Just floating in and out. They don't be out there every day.
Alright,
I'm gonna think about it.
well, you better think hard. I'm serious. Either you can help
If I can
yourself,
think something,
either you can help yourself or you can hurt yourself, really. Because if you help us get them, one, they're gonna be put away, and you ain't gotta be worrying about your own
yeah, but
damn
if I no, you're gonna,
neck and your kid's neck.
yeah, look what happened to B.I. I want to die
What happened to B.I.?
when he got all shot up.
Why'd B.I. get shot?
I don't know. They told me Shaquille did it, but
Yeah.
I had done.
Why would Shaquem? He comes from this nice family. Why would
He
he have
can't be
B.I.
trusted. I know. I don't trust.
You know the guy who did B.I.?
My sister does. They was staying at her house.
Well, if he
I
comes,
ain't never seen that man. I never wanted to. That's just it. I told him don't bring none of those people to my house because I don't want to know them.
when was the last time he was in town?
That guy. I never even seen him before, and I don't want to.
You don't know why B.I. was hit.
Some of these stories.
Well, tell me,
Probably maybe he ganked them. I don't know. Stephen. And probably didn't want to do nothing.
B.I. would gang check him?
Not at that. That's why I heard.
B.I. would gang Ivan?
B.I. he don't have it, he don't have nothing.
What?
He's living on the edge. No, he don't have no drugs, so I guess he would do something like that,
B.I. don't have no drugs?
No, not really.
Huh?
He down through there for real. See, I guess he thought that he could do something like that and get away with it. Everybody's not the same. That's what they tell me.
B.I. getting
Messed
shot.
up their money or something like that.
B.I. getting shot. I don't lose no sleep over.
I know. I don't care what happened to none of you, as long as you don't have to wait.
Well, I hope it don't happen to you neither. I guess that's up in your hands now, though. All right.
Now, this recording was, this interview was done on August 13th of 1991. Like I said, the detectives will decide to go, and they looked at her car. No physical evidence at the time of this interview was founded in Delphina Guice's car. Now, Delphina Guice Let's see, surgery. Oh, there we go. Taliano, after this interview, Taliano, Resendez, and Roner all decided the car needed to be searched again. So the next interview that we listen to tomorrow on 8:15, Taliano, Resendez, Roner will go back to the guy's home and ask to search your car again based on an informant, they said. And it says Leavenworth had a car late 8:07 in the morning of 8:08. All three searched, no physical evidence found. Now you can see, based on this interview, where Taliano and Resendez are heading to is that she somehow is a conspiracy to a crime because Leavenworth Edwards had her car the night of 8/7 into the early morning hours of 8/8. Now, let me tell you what Leavenworth Edwards told me. He told me last week that they were guilty of throwing dope out the window. They actually got Delphina's car and they headed out to Elyria to an apartment that they all stayed at. At some point, the highway patrol about 1 a.m. got behind them, and another New York man, I believe it was Patch or Supreme, it was one of the two, or Justice, it was one of the two, because Justice, Patch, and Supreme are different little New York. They're kind of like outskirt people associated, but not, you know what I mean? But they threw dope out of the car when the highway patrol got behind them about 1 in the morning. And instead of just, saying, the dope is worthless at this point, Leavenworth, and I forget who he said was with them. I want to say it was Supreme or Justice, went back by to where the old country kitchen was, off the over in that area by the big boys, and decided to scour along the road of I believe it was the highway, and eventually found the drugs that they threw out of the car. However, the next interview, you're really going to see where they take this story that Leavenworth, Lenny Edwards had told Delphina Guice about how they had to throw the dope and all this, and they try to mold it into, Marsha Blakely picked up this dope and smoked up $2,000 worth of crack cocaine, which is, by the way, impossible, which is why she owed these guys money, which then leads to their main witness during the trial, which is a whole nother thing. And those interviews we'll listen next week, but you're going to see how this actual true story with Lenny, and this happened in Elyria, Ohio, not Lorain, not anywhere near where Marsha Blakely was. They turned his actual story into what happened, and then finding their own dope after they threw it out of the car, but spent hours doing it, which is why Delphina Guice's car was dirty, and I guess it was dirty inside, but I don't think it was, it's men, whatever, just not being cleanly, leaving wrappers and stuff. And her car was all muddy, and that's because they had pulled over on the side of the road trying to find their dope, and the car had gotten a little muddy in the process. So they take this story in the next interview you're really going to see, but there you can see what Taliano and Resendez are doing to this woman. And when I talked to Delphina Guice about a week and a half ago, she said, I was a single mother of 4. They were threatening me, saying I was going to be some kind of co-conspirator. I was scared. I thought, these guys from New York, I don't know them, this, that, and other thing. I don't really believe the scared story, just because, you're so scared of these New York guys, yet you're surrounding yourself with them, and you want to be affiliated. Clearly she was having relations with them. She was worried about her cousin finding out that she had relations with Shakim. Earlier the day before, Taliano and I think Resendez are also using that against her. But I think her biggest fear here is that she has 4 kids and they're looking at her car and she doesn't know any better. She actually told me she didn't know until the day that she was supposed to testify that her car all 3 times was clean, that the tire prints didn't match any crime scene. That, no offense, like the last few interviews, they were looking for like a maroon brown car, and now all of a sudden this silver car is a suspected car. And then, how did they even get to Delphina Guice? It's a mystery. And I don't think it's a mystery. I just think she was known to hang out with them. And I think the cops knew that. And I think she came and picked up Shakim on the 12th, and they followed her to the motel, found some little dirt on her, and decided and figured out, like, she was with Benson. She was at the time supposed to be with Lenworth, and that she was around these guys. And I think they used that to be like, oh, no name informant told us, your car was used in a crime. And then I think she told him the story about like the dope and what Lenny said. And I think they tried to use the story thinking that that happened in Lorain, Ohio, and it didn't. And, it's as easy as verifying with, which I don't know if they did or not, with the State Highway Patrol. Did you pull over these people in this car? Here's the license plate on 8/7 or 8/8 early morning. What time? And then going from there. But our next episode will be Delphina Guice's second interview on 8/15, and we will discuss more there. And I'll actually show you even during Al Cleveland's, I think, 2010 trial. She even says, like, I was being threatened by then assistant prosecutor John Rosenbaum, this is John Rosenbaum. Tony Silva, our new prosecutor's best friend, Tony Silva and John Rosenbaum, BFFs for life. But, she didn't want to be a target of the Lorain police and their, witch hunt for the Ohio 4, when clearly the two people that they interviewed the day of Marsha Blakely and Floyd Epps murder, the day after, and subsequently after, before these, and well, not before 2 days, they'll interview Gwen in 2 days, but they were already on to a more likely culprit, and they just kind of skipped over that to try to, now we got to go after the 4. This person's associated with the 4. This is who we're going to go after. She's a vulnerable person. Just because, single mother 4 has a lot to lose. She's letting these guys use her car. We're going to leverage that. She's not a license. So clearly that's also how they kind of picked her up, because even Resendez says at the beginning of that, in the middle of the interview, that, that's how we got you in here, driving without the license. And I'm going to sit outside your house and wait till you get in that car, because you're going to drive it. You're going to drive it. And when you do, we're going to make your life hell until you find us some information on what's going on with this murder case and point, some evidence towards the Ohio 4. And we'll see what happens during her interview and 2 days later. And stay focused, Lorain County, and thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to give me a shout out at my email right there. And stay focused, Lorain County. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today on Mean Street. I hope you enjoyed the show. I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider supporting our work and supporting my effort. You can support directly underneath at the Spotify donations, or you can directly give a donation at paypal.me/Mean Street, Ohio. Any donation received will help me continue to provide news to you and everyone else across Ohio and beyond. I love what I do, and I just hope to continue to do it. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.